11 financial lessons I learned from my mom and dad. I was blessed to have both a mom and dad all 59 of my years so far. And my dad is 87, my mom is 85. Not everyone gets this. It was really luck of the draw for me. Having two parents provided a lot of safety for me, so a lot of stability, and a foundation for growth. Today, I've identified 11 lessons that I learned from them. Some of these are just life lessons, but they're intertwined with good financial advice long term. Okay, so I included them. I bet you can see these come through in my videos. Okay, so I'd be surprised if you can't see, oh, that's where Joe gets it from. I expect you to say that a few times through here. So first of all, I'm going to start with my dad, and it was a little bit hard to separate which one were mom and dad. I tried to do that, but they overlap a lot. But, when I think of my dad, number one, things do not buy happiness. We drove cars into the ground. I remember early on, and this in the 1970s, we pulled over on the side of the road to take a picture of our car turning over 100,000 miles. That was a big deal back in the day. That's like equivalent to 250,000 miles today. Dad still drives a 1996 truck, has no intention of buying another one. We didn't have boats. He didn't have expensive tools. I grew up in an 800 square foot house with a full basement underneath it. We bought furniture that lasted decades. We weren't constantly upgrading our lives with lifestyle creep. They still have my bed at home. The one I grew up in is still at home. If you're a guest in their house, you can sleep in the bed that I did. Same frame, mattress, everything. Things just create more desire for things. Someone always has better stuff, and there's always envy going on, and you just get caught in this vortex of things. Number two, chase a great family and friends, not a paycheck. Don't get your identity from your job. My dad was offered several promotional opportunities to move away from where he grew up, with get more money, but walk away from all their groups and all their family. And family was so close and important in my childhood, and in before and still today. So your goal is to have a great family and friends, not a great paycheck. Number three, save. Just an example of that, Dad got, I believe it was 2 savings bonds with every paycheck. And this was when savings bonds were paper. So he actually got a paycheck and got paper. And he put those in a safe at home and just had a big stack of them. And that was his one-time expense fund when he wanted to buy a new car. Grabbed a savings bond, peeled off how many he needed, and bought a car. If the furnace went bad, needed a new roof, that was his automated savings. So savings was just part of growing up for me. Number four, don't pay someone to do something you could do yourself. Now, I'm sure you've heard this before, but a little twist here. When you get it done, you get a sense of pride. And also you can learn preventive maintenance. So what could I have done different to extend the life of the dishwasher, the roof on the house, the gutter, the water leak you may have had in the house, a leaky pipe, whatever it happens to be? What could you have done differently to extend that? Understand the failure mode. Maybe a little bit of why I got into maintenance a little bit. Also, Dad, he's got a 45-year-old clothes dryer. So the dryer, he just keeps fixing it. 45 years. Tell me if you have a dryer that's older than 45 years. Or any appliance. You're lucky if you get 15 out of them now. Number five, sweat the details. Know where your money's going. Dad had a desk in the basement. And in the evenings when we may have been relaxing and watching TV, Dad was at his desk. He was engaged in the conversation if there was one, but he was always knowing the detail. He knew where every dollar went. Number six, give generously. of your time, talents, and treasure. This was obvious to the kids. Dad, like I said, rarely sat around and watched TV exclusively. He was always doing the books for the church or doing the books for a baseball league he may have been the president of or the treasurer of. So he's always doing things beyond the family to make lives better for others. It could be a baseball team, could be, the poor, or, just anybody in the community. Number 7, invest in yourself first. Get a marketable skill. I heard this a lot. Get a marketable skill. Get a profession. Something that has maybe a license, like a nurse or an engineer or electrician, something like that, was just part of my childhood. Okay, so that was number 7 for Dad. So what did I learn from and attribute to my mom? Now, there's only 4 here, but don't take that as, 4 versus 7. Don't be that competitive. Like I said, there's overlap. Number 1, when I think of my mom, it's faith, family, and friends. Our priority, 1, 2, 3. Never forget that. We never got speeches of this. It was just our life played out, okay? These all take work and they all take time. Don't get your career misplaced as a priority 1, 2, or 3. Being present is much more valuable than presents you may receive. Keep the family together. Never stop talking to each other. Number 2, laughing at life and memories are 1,000 times more priceless than things. So that's common with Mom and Dad. Vacations were a huge part of my memories. We were just talking about them today. I was over at Mom's house helping them with decorations for Christmas time. We went camping. We camped all over the U.S. We never went out to eat. We stayed in campgrounds. We paid like $5 a night to camp, and we cooked our own food, went to the grocery store. So we went really cheap, but they were great memories. We were in a pop-up camper, that we towed behind our Vista Cruiser station wagon, and just created great memories with my 1 sister and 2 brothers, Mom and Dad. Those were great times. We laugh. Every time we get together, we laugh and remember those vacations and traveling together. And believe me, we'd go on a whole week vacation, probably spent $75. It wasn't very much at all. Times were different back then, but I know gas was 25 cents a gallon. It cost you $5 to camp. Some places for free. Number 3, and this is very important. I don't talk about it at all, I don't think, on this channel, but, divorce was never considered an option in my family. It takes work, takes commitment. There are going to be fights. And you got to remember, the number 1 killer of early retirement or epic retirement, as I sometimes say, is divorce. Divorce really sets you back. Okay, it's not insurmountable, and there's good reasons for divorce out there, but you got to put time in and put the hard work in, and perhaps you have a shot at avoiding that, and cutting all your assets in half. If you want to just focus on the money piece, that really sets you back. So that was work on your marriage. Number 4, I like this one. I wrote 1 loaf of bread and 4 ounces of chipped beef in gravy milk, or milk gravy, sorry, can feed a family of 6. This is kind of an inside joke, but this was a common meal for us. 4 ounces of meat total for 6 people inside of milk gravy. You heat that up, get some toast from a loaf of bread, pour the milk gravy on top of it, there's your meal. We probably, at least once every 2 weeks, we had that. And we had some other meals like that, but this is the one we joke about all the time. The lesson is modest daily living can fund memories, the vacations. We didn't spend a whole lot of money on food. We spent money on necessary food, and that allowed us some opportunity to spend it on things like a vacation, going to the mountains and camping. Choose where every dollar goes on purpose to maximize the joyful impact. Okay, so that was the lesson from my mom. So there's the 4 from my mom. You got the 7 from my dad. What did you think of my list? Let me know in the comments. What did you learn from your mom and dad about money, about life? Leave it in the comments. Let everybody reflect on that and maybe have some good thoughts about their mom and dad because of a memory that that you helped help them see. Joe out.